Yo, what's up, FastLane fam? So you're sitting at a red light, you hear this beast of a bike coming up next to you. Absolutely ridiculous exhaust note. Engine sounds like it's about to rip through the street. You're thinking, dude, that bike has to be insane, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Today we're talking about those bikes that sound absolutely incredible, like they're ready to destroy everything in their path, but the moment you actually ride them, they turn into total disappointments. These are the bikes that make you go, what the hell was I expecting? Stay tuned because I'm going to break down exactly which bikes are lying to you with their sound and why reality hits so much harder than that fake audio. Let me be real with you guys. We've all been victims of this. That deep, menacing exhaust growl is like a siren call, man. It makes you think a bike is faster, more powerful, more aggressive than it actually is. The sound design is incredible, I'm not gonna lie. But here's the thing. A good exhaust note doesn't always mean good performance, good handling, or good overall riding experience. Sometimes it just means someone figured out the formula to make your brain think a bike is cooler than it actually is. Let's start with the Harley-Davidson Street 750. Now, before the Harley guys come at me in the comments, hear me out. That bike sounds so good. That V-twin rumble is absolutely legendary. There's nothing else that sounds like it. But here's what you actually get. A bike that weighs almost 500 pounds, has around 50 horsepower, and handles like it's scared to turn. You hear that bike coming and your brain automatically thinks heavy metal machine about to tear it up. But then you actually throw a leg over it and realize you're riding something that feels sluggish, unresponsive, and frankly, kind of boring for the 2020s. The sound is doing 90% of the work, while the bike itself is doing about 20%. Then there's the Kawasaki Ninja 400. I know, it's a beginner bike, but dude, that thing sounds so much meaner than it has any right to. Kawasaki really dialed in that exhaust note to make it sound like a real sport bike, but you're talking about a bike with 40 horsepower that accelerates like it's powered by disappointment and broken dreams. People buy this thing expecting some kind of middleweight experience, and what they get is something that struggles to keep up with traffic and feels so soft in the suspension that you're basically sitting on a cloud trying to corner. Here's another one that kills me, the Honda CB500F. This bike sounds like it's got some serious business going on under the tank. That parallel twin note, chef's kiss. It sounds like a little sport bike that's actually going to move. But here's the deal. While it's actually a decent bike, it doesn't sound like what it actually is. The sound makes you expect this thrilling, edge-of-your-seat ride, and instead you get a practical, comfortable, reliable commuter. Nothing wrong with that, but your ears lied to you. The bike is making promises that its actual performance can't keep. Let me talk about the Ducati Scrambler. So Ducati is the master of making bikes sound incredible. They've basically perfected the art of the desmodromic engine note that makes people lose their minds. The Scrambler sounds like a serious machine, right? And it is a nice bike, don't get me wrong, but that sound is creating an expectation that this thing is ready for serious action, and what you're actually getting is a retro-styled middleweight that's better at looking cool in coffee shop parking lots than actually delivering the riding experience that sound suggests. That L-twin engine sounds angry, but the bike itself is more interested in vibes than velocity. You want to know what the real problem is? It's that manufacturers have figured out that sound sells bikes. They know that if a bike sounds incredible, people will overlook things like power delivery, suspension quality, braking performance, and handling characteristics. They've basically weaponized our ears against our better judgment. A guy with a good exhaust and some marketing money can make a mediocre bike sound like a dream machine. The worst part is when you've got bikes that actually are amazing performers but sound like vacuum cleaners. Meanwhile, these other bikes are out here sounding like they're about to break the sound barrier but delivering nothing except noise pollution and regret when you actually own one. So here's my advice for you. Don't let the sound fool you. Don't buy a bike because it sounds incredible. Rent one. Test ride it. Feel how it actually handles, how it accelerates in the real world, how the suspension actually works when you're pushing it. Because at the end of the day, looks fade, sound gets old, but how a bike actually performs is what you're stuck with for years. The bikes that really matter are the ones that sound good and deliver on the promise. That's where the real magic is. That's a bike that won't disappoint you. But if you're buying based on the exhaust note alone, you're going to end up with buyer's remorse and a really loud parking ornament. Subscribe if you actually want real motorcycle reviews from someone who's not just selling you on the hype. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. FastLane out.